Hey guys, I'm using one of my new layered stencils I picked up from the ton from the Monroeville show. I purchased, this is the Postage Sea 5 layering stencils. I already die cut the Postage Party die. I can't find my grip mat, so I'm using the Gina K stencil mat to hold it down, which is fine. Use what you have. So it already tells you in the layers, number 1, blue. Okay, so we're going to line it up. Let's make sure we have it lined up the right way. It looks like the bigger square goes on the top left. Okay, and then we're going to put the stencil over it. I might use some repositionable washi tape to just hold down the sides here. Okay. And I'm filming from my phone today, so it will be a little bit closer. I can't get this close on my iPad, so hopefully you guys can see everything okay. And we want blue. I'm going to use as many colors. I got these new Simon Hurley inks from the show, so let's crack these babies open and use them too. Why not, right? They're on the desk. So blue, we're going to use Stellar ink in Clear Skies. I'm just tapping them off on my glass mat. Oh, speaking of glass mat, I found my magnets. It's just pinched me. This is a Glassboard Studio glass mat, which is magnetic. There we go. And I like the white because you can, I often watercolor on this glass mat, which you guys have seen me do. And you can see the colors on the inks on it. But I often forget, hey, you have magnets that can hold everything in place. There's a bigger part on the stencil, like right here, there's a bigger part, right there's a bigger part. I'm starting on that bigger part of the stencil. That way you don't have to really tap off because you're starting on that bigger part. So that way there's not a big splotch when you start your stenciling. If you don't have that, then tap off the ink a little bit before you go onto your stencil. That way you don't start with a big blob when you do your stenciling. While I was in Pittsburgh visiting, I took my daughter to the Pittsburgh Zoo and Aquarium, which is all in one. And so as soon as I saw this stencil, yes, it was a must-have. It's very pretty. Okay. So far, blending with these inks is very nice, which, of course, I don't ever see Simon doing anything that's not going to do well. So kudos to Simon Hurley for launching these spongy ink pads. That's layer 1. Okay. We're going to move on to layer 2. And it says 2 is a mid blue. So that was probably supposed to be a lighter blue, and now we need to go in with a darker blue. And it says 2 mid blue. Okay, so we're going to try to line these up. And we're going to go in with a little bit darker blue. I'm going to line up this fish and this fish. You don't have your corner grid marks. Okay, so I only bought one color of the blue. I'm going to use the same brush. And let me grab a little bit darker blue. I have my Catherine Puller inks in front of me, so getting a darker blue is not going to be a problem. Let's go with Something Borrowed. Same thing, I'm going to tap that little bit of extra ink off before I go in. And there's lots of tiny little fish in this one. So I'm going to use the tip of my brush to get that ink into the little finer points of that stencil. Looks like some coral and jellyfish on this one. Okay, I think we're pretty good here. If you really wanted to, you could grab some fine detail, small, like the Gina K or the Spellbinders little blending brushes. They're on the other side of the room, so I'm not going to go and dig those out right now. Okay. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, number 3. The top part says green, the bottom part says yellow. So it looks like we're going to line up the top part with the turtle. In green. And then the bottom part, we're going to line up some fish. Okay, I think I'm pretty good there. So the top in green, the bottom in yellow. And there is a little line out here. So these 3 are yellow and these 3 are green. I do have my other blending brushes over here. Okay, so we're going to go with Catching Rays for the yellow. bottom here. Again, use whatever you have. I'm using a little bit smaller brush, just really trying to get into the little detail area here. Okay. And then for the green, we're going to use grass skirt. So fun watching this come together. Okay, stencil number 4. It says brown at the top, orange at the bottom. So looks like we have the bodies of the turtles. And our fish we're going to line up. Let me grab a nice neutral brown. We're going to use over coffee. And again, it's going to be just the bodies of the turtles are going to be in that brown. And just trying to check the line here. Yeah, everything else it says in orange. Orange, we're going to use orange twist. Oh no! These are very teeny tiny. So again, just trying to put ink on the tip of my brush there and just so many beautiful colors in this stencil. I love it. And it's so easy to do. Okay, I think the last color is probably going to be black. All right. Look how fun that is. Okay, the last color is Dark brown at the top for the turtle shells. Oh, now we're going to get some colors here. We have gray here, and then black at the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to need to pay attention here. Okay, let's start with the tops of the turtles. Okay, it looks like the rocks are going to be gray and then black at the bottom. Okay, I see what's going on. So starting with the turtle shells. And Effie designed these, and she even masks off so you don't get color where you don't want it, which is great. And I think I am going to need to grab a tiny, teeny, tiny brush for this. So I'm going to pause the video. I'll be right back. Okay, grab some smaller brushes. All right, so for the turtles, I have macchiato for the dark brown on the back of their shells here. It's pretty easy to do. A little bit darker brown. Okay, so that's macchiato from Catherine Fuller. Okay, then for the gray, which is going to be on these rocks here, 1, 2, 3, 4, we have hoodie. Okay, and then for black, which is really just going to be what's left with the fish, I grabbed a fine point, and we're going to try the Simon Hurley Black Widow. Okay. And that's going to be for all the little fish. Ooh, that's juicy. I don't think that I meant to be that juicy with that, but we really needed a fine point brush to get in there and get all the darker colors on the fish. Hopefully it didn't mess up our fish. I'm just trying to lift some of that extra ink that's on the stencil and pull it over and reuse it. Okay, I think that's all the black that we need. Hopefully. Okay, and this is the final reveal. It's a very juicy ink pad. Let's see what we have here. Oh, that came out really super cute, you guys. Let me bring that up to the camera. And again, that is called the Postage Sea 5 layering stencils. And again, all the directions are also included if you needed those. But hopefully you enjoyed watching this video. Not sponsored by The Ton. I just love Effie's stuff. And yeah, had fun making this. You can check out her stuff at thetonstamps.com. Her postage stencil die works with her stencils. I know there's a lot of companies that have this. None of them coordinate with each other. So this is her postage party die. Her stencils work specifically with her stuff. So I've shown several videos on the other ones as well. Not going to work with any other companies. They all only work with their own. I've shown that before. So hopefully you guys had fun watching me make this. If you did, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you did. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.